So now let's have a look at the blocks tool of AutoCAD. And blocks are simple named objects which can be used as a single 2D or 3D entity, and they are used to represent some repetitive geometries in the drawing. For example, in this case we have this door symbol, and all of these door symbols are made with blocks. Also we have this bed, which is a block, and it has been used a couple of times in this drawing. So all of these geometries are made using blocks instead of copying them in different places, because we get some advantages with block. When you use block instead of copying the geometries multiple times, you have the advantage of keeping a tab on the block properties. Now in this case, if you modify any single instance of this block, all of these blocks will be modified. For example, in this case, if you modify this door, the complete door set will be modified in this drawing. Similarly, if you modify a single instance of this block, all of their instances in the drawing will be modified. So that's the advantage of using a block instead of copying the objects. Now making a block is quite simple, and to explain it, I'll go to this drawing. Now here we have a simple geometry which is made with line, circle and arcs. Now in order to convert this into a block, you can use the command equivalent of create block, which is B, or you can select this create block tool from the block panel of home tab. So I'll click here, and now this block definition window will pop up. Now first you need to specify the name of the block. So I'll name it as sink, and now select the pick point. So in this case, I'll click on this pick point, and now I'll click on this top point. But in this case, I'm not able to see any object snap marker. So I'll go to the status bar and select this object snap option. Alternatively, you can also select the object snap by pressing F3 key. Now click on this point, and here we have the coordinates of that point. They are added here. Now click on select objects and select all of these objects and press enter. Now you can see that we have 19 objects selected, and all of them are in our selection set for the block. Now we have these three radio buttons. So for the first case, I'll simply select this convert to block option, and also I'll keep annotative and scale uniformly unchecked. We'll look into these options in a moment, and I'll keep this allow exploding option checked. Now with these settings, click on OK. And here we have this block. Now when I move my cursor to this object, you'll see this block reference on the tooltip. That simply indicates that this object is now converted into a block. It's no longer a set of geometries. And when I click on it, you'll see that the complete geometry will be selected with a single grip, which is at the base point. Also, when you go to this block panel, you'll see this small arrow right under this insert option. When you click on it, you'll see a replica of the block. Here we have the sink block, and now it is added to our current drawing 11.1.dwg file. It has been added there, and this is simply a copy or a reference of this original block. So if you want to insert it, simply click on it and insert it. Now both of these are references of the original block which is stored here. So now let's press Ctrl Z a couple of times to get back to the original drawing. And here we have it. Now it's no longer a block. Now once again, I'll convert it into a block with slightly different properties. So I'll go to this create block and I'll give it a name. So I'll name it as sink once again. Now select the pick point, which is the same pick point on the top side here, and select objects, and I'll select all of these objects. Now in this case, I'll select a different radio button. In the previous case, we have selected this one, convert to block. Now in this case, I'll select retain, and I'll keep rest of the options unchanged, and I'll click on OK. Now in this case, when you move your cursor to this object, you'll notice that it's still a simple object. It has not been converted into a block, but we have a copy of that object here. We have the block added in our drawing, although the drawing on the screen has not been converted. That's because we selected the retain option while creating the block, and that's why the object on the screen has been retained into its original form. It has not been converted, but a copy of that has been added as a block here. Similarly, when you select the delete option while creating the block, the object on your screen will be deleted, but a copy of that object will be added as a block. So I'll close this block definition, And now I'll press Ctrl Z a couple of times to get back to the original drawing. Now let's have a look at some of the options which are available in the create block window. And for that, I'll once again create the block. So go to this create block and I'll give it a name. So again, sync pick point, which is the same pick point, and I'll select delete option and I'll select all of these objects and press enter. Now here we have some options like annotative, scale uniformly, and allow exploding. So when you click on this annotative option, the block will become annotative, and we'll learn more about annotative behavior in the upcoming modules. For now, I'll keep it unchecked, and here we have an option of scale uniformly. So when you click on this option, you will be able to insert the block in a drawing with uniform scale in X, Y, and Z direction. So when this checkbox is selected, you won't be able to change the scale in different directions. All of the directions will have same scale. Also, we have an option of allow exploding. So when you select this option, you will have an option of converting this block into a simple geometry by exploding it. So I'll keep this checked, but I'll keep it unchecked. The scale uniformly, I'll uncheck it. Also, we have an option of block unit, which is set to mm, and in most of the cases, it will be same as the unit inside your drawing template. So I recommend you to keep its unit unchanged and keep it same as the drawing template unit to avoid confusion. And now click on OK. So since we have selected the delete option, the block has been deleted from the drawing area, but we have a reference here. The original block has been added and you can insert its reference.